great day, sports world. What's up to all the sports lovers, the haters, the addicts, and the fanatics out there? This is Larry Patterson for GT365. That's Game Time 365 Sports right here on the GTSN. That's the Game Time Sports Network. Getting ready for mock draft 2.0. We're doing it live this time with the help of Stick to the Model, the draft, mock draft format. Amon, what's up, man? You introduced me to this site actually, so appreciate you for that. How you doing today, brother?
Yeah, man, I'm doing all right, man. Just getting off work, kick back on my guy, and we're gonna go live today with this mock draft. We're gonna throw a little wrinkles in. I'm pretty sure you can throw a little wrinkle into me, and we're gonna see how this thing shake up here in a few seconds.
Speaking of a little wrinkle, your owner, part owner, minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, Tom Brady, had a little big matchup this weekend with the flag football. I don't know if you watched it or not. I didn't watch too much of it, but I saw some highlights. How you feel about your GOAT going out there and still wheeling and dealing? And you think he can come back to the Raiders and save the day?
Yeah, man. I mean, we found out about this flag football game I think last offseason. I'm surprised that many current players like Burrow, Devontae Smith, DeAndre Hopkins, Genty, out there playing. Flag football is going to be in the Olympics in 2028, I believe. So I guess they want to get their feet wet, test the waters, whatever. But as far as Brady goes, he looked like he could still come out there and give you a full 17, man, and lead you deep into the playoffs, man. Yes, his flag is two-hand touch or whatever you want to call it, but the way he was moving, slinging that ball to Gronk and OBJ and those boys out there, man, if he wanted to play to 50, I truly believe he could probably play till 50. But Father Time is always undefeated, and his day came to an end. But if you want to come in and take the reins from Mendoza for a couple weeks, maybe 5 weeks, and then let him go, I'm all for it, man. We probably be 5-0 after those games. So, but I'm all for it, man. So yeah, Brady, if you want to come in and say, hey, I want to put a jersey on, ask Roger Staubach and his family to wear number 12 for 5 weeks, you definitely can have it.
Yeah, man, he looked like he definitely still got it, but it's a difference between, you got them pads on and then when you just got the flags on. So,
Yep.
got mama-in-law in the chat. How you doing, mom-in-law? So Joe Flacco signed a 1 year back with the Cincinnati Bengals. So Joe Burrow gets his backup quarterback. Levante David retired. How you feel about Levante? He ends the year as his career with a Super Bowl ring. That's very good for him. Though I actually thought he was going to be signed to somebody this offseason, but he wasn't. So, happy trails to him. Something else happened. But anyways, let's get to what we really want to get to, this mock draft. We only doing picks 1 through 16 today, because if we did 1 through 32, me and Amon will be here like 4 hours. We'll be here till 10 o'clock at night, because that's what we do. So, but courtesy of Stick to the Model mock draft format, getting ready for this mock draft, and here we go. Starting with pick number 1. Is it starting? I guess it is starting, but okay. So pick 1, of course. We got the Las Vegas Raiders, and we going Ty Simpson, or we going Ruben Bain? Where we going?
Yeah, do the right thing.
I think we're going Fernando Mendoza with the first pick in the 2026 NFL draft. And do you got any little thoughts on this, or is this just what it is? You got any final thoughts on this?
No, I don't. I'm not. It is what it is. I know there's a narrative going around. Darren Orlovsky on ESPN saying that Ty Simpson is the best quarterback in this class. He's QB1, and I respect Dano's opinion, but at the same time, we have to look at people's body of work. The Ty Simpson had the first half of the season. He was hot. He was the hot guy QB1, but then down the back stretch of the season, he kind of fizzled out, had some injuries he was dealing with, and he didn't have the old Alabama teams of yesteryear. So he had Ryan Williams, and Ryan Williams is not the player that he used to be. I don't know what happened. He didn't have a running game to support him, and the offensive line wasn't up to snuff. Like we see from the old Alabama team. So, but Mendoza, if you look at his last 4 or 5 games, it was Oregon, Alabama, Ohio State, Miami. There was one more team in the middle, Penn State. I'm sorry. Those were all top 10, 15 teams in the preseason, and all he did was go 10 touchdowns, 1 interceptions in those games. And it's like and like I say, he's a program, builder, he's a program changer. Yes, there are some flaws in his game, but he has A+ traits in some places that the other quarterbacks don't have. And I think that's hard to pass up if you're a Las Vegas Raider fan or coach or GM right now. So I think the Hayes in the barn is probably this draft cycle for QB1 is probably not as strong as it was in 2024. But we know how Ryan Poles, he said back at when the Bears footage finally came out, like weeks after the draft, they knew who the number 1 pick was probably back in February, and they just did the process and went through. So I think the Raiders are in the same spot right now. And yeah, it's Fernando Mendoza until eternity.
I remember Dan he got some flack for what he said about like last week. I was watching it live. Matter of fact, I had sent it to you. He was talking about Ty Simpson being one of the best quarterbacks. He was actually like a top 8, top 10 pick early in the season, and then his play started to dip. He lost some offensive linemen, lost some weapons. So I definitely dig him on this point right there. And even like last week, I even told you Ty Simpson in March 25th is Alabama's pro day. So definitely, we watching that really closely. But I thought that the Jets could be in a position to come up and get him. They need a franchise. Now I don't see that so much due to them having so many veterans on the roster in the quarterback room. But then even then, it was always like that long shot. Like I don't think the Jets going to go there. They probably wait and wait till 2027 to see what they have at the quarterback position. Since you have so many others coming out, but definitely Fernando Mendoza is the number 1 pick here. That's not a secret there. Going to pick number 2 with the Jets. You have stated who you would want at number 2. Since this is your pick, we'll just go with that. And I can't find my man. Who is your number 2 pick?
My number 2 pick is for the New York Jets is David Bailey. I will take Bailey here. Um, he's the he is the he is not sexy. It's not pretty. He's not flashy. He's one of the guys that come on there, no gloves, no nothing. But he has different ways to beat you. He can beat you with an inside counter. He doesn't have the bend of a Alvin Reese or a Cassius Howell or any of those guys, but he can cross chop. He can beat you in so many ways. He has a bag. And if you look on the film, when they played Utah, him and Fano had a good battle. He won some, Fano won some, but I think for the Jets at number 2, you traded Jermaine Johnson back to Robert Saleh, so they kind of cleared the way for David Bailey or Alvaro Reese in this instance here to be their number 1 pass rusher. So, but in this instance, I took the cleanest guy, the guy that has a found position because you don't know what Reese is going to play. He can play off ball, the Parsons position, or he can play on the edge. Is he a true edge? Or is he a true linebacker? We don't know. But for sure, with David Bailey, you're going to get a guy that coming into the league that's going to get you 10+ sacks a year, in my humble opinion. I could be wrong, but that's just what I see when I watch a little bit of him.
High
So,
motor.
yeah, yep, high motor. He never takes plays off. So he can. No, Reese can defend the run pretty well, better than Bailey in my opinion. But I think Bailey, when it comes to getting home, he can really get home. He can close out games for you. So in this mock draft 2.0, I'm taking David Bailey from the Texas Tech Red Raiders to the New York Jets at pick 2 overall.
And the Jets also can go Reese as well. They can go a couple other different ways, but definitely with those two. Um, with Bailey, even when you said a couple weeks ago, he was like Bailey, and I went and turned the film, and I'm like, I can definitely see them. I still think that pick at top two is still a little too rich, but I see it. I see the vision. I can see the potential there. Um, I think that the Jets are going to go Arvell Reese simply because of the other things that he can do, and that doesn't diminish anything that Bailey can do. It's just Arvell Reese did have the good combine as well, so that's that's going to be a plus for him. I don't know if they had that pro day yet, but but that's something to look forward to when that happens. But you got evens, I got odds. So you take David Bailey at number two. At number three, the Arizona Cardinals are on the clock, and this is another team that can go multitude of different ways. You got the offensive tackle spots. You got Francis Malgoa. You got Spencer Fanu there. Um, you got Jeremiah Love sitting there at four. This one right here, I'm I'm very tricky about it because if you take Jeremiah Love, I think they have some offensive line needs as well. So I think I'm gonna go with the number 9 player in the draft, offensive tackle from Miami for the Arizona Cardinals. How you say his last name?
Francis Manoa.
Manoa.
Yeah.
I don't know what I said, but I want to go with him at offensive tackle. I mean, they don't have that signal caller right now. They'll probably be another year away from where they'll be with that. But get Jacoby Brissett or whoever's going to be playing quarterback, get them some extra protection, or they can learn behind, or he can learn behind somebody. So I think that they'll go there at number 3. At number
Yeah.
4, oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna chime in here. Yeah, I see Arizona going CC Manoa here at 4. And I know we're not doing any trades this one, probably in 3.0, 4.0. We'll probably get a little crazy and get some trades in. But I could also see Arizona trading back too, maybe to take CC at number 6, number 7. Do somebody want to come up to get Jeremiah Love? Because that's gonna be, I think that's gonna be the key spot in this draft. Really, is number 3. Do the Arizona Cardinals trade back and take some extra picks and have somebody come up and get Jeremiah Love, like the Giants, Tennessee? Who knows? There could be some trades here, but because they have more needs than just offensive tackle. They need defense. They need weapons. I mean, they got Trey McBride and my guy Marvin Harrison, but they can still add to that. Michael Wilson had a good season last year, but you still can add to that. Could they take Jeremiah Love to round out their weaponry for whoever that quarterback may be, whether it's this draft next year? So there's so many options you can go. But I do like Francis Manoa here to the Arizona Cardinals. With no trades here. You got my guy Johnson on the Paris Johnson from Ohio State on the left side, and then you book in with CC Manoa on the right side, and then whoever that quarterback may be, like you said, you can drop them in there in 2027, and hey, they'll be protected for the next 10+ years with 2 top 10 offensive tackles. So I do like the Cardinals pick here with CC Manoa.
Pick number 4, the Tennessee Titans are on the clock. You got the odd. Well, you got the evens.
Yeah.
Who is on the clock here?
Yeah, this was kind of tough. I talked to some of my friends. I talked to you about this, some of my guys, and I'm stuck right here. It's like, do I want to help Cam Ward out, or do I want to give Robert Sala his Fred Warner? And going into this, I'm pretty sure Mike Begonzi, the GM of the the Tennessee Titans coming from, Kansas City, seeing what you can do when you put great weapons around, a quarterback. So right now, it's a long shot that he'll be here. But right now, I'm going to take. They have so many needs. They can go Carnell Tate. They can go Reese here. They can go Styles. They can go, you name it, Mansour. After he ran in his pro day, he's definitely in the conversation right here. So let's. But right now, I'm going with probably the top three player in the draft, in my humble opinion. I'm going to help Cam Ward out in this right here, and I'm going to take Jeremiah Love. I know it's probably not the most popular, most sexy pick, but if we're really going to help Cam Ward, and it's all about his development, I'm going to give him a solid running back that's not going to come off the field on third down. He can line up in the slot. He can line up at wide receiver. He can do jet sweeps. He can do whatever you need him to do. He can play wildcat running back. I
Everything.
watched his I watched his film versus Pitt, and I watched his film versus what's the other team? I can't think. I'm drawing a blank right now. But in the college football playoffs last year when they played,
I can't think of it.
I can't think. It was last year, not this year, but yeah, last year where he took 99 yards to the house. It was Indiana when they had Curtis Rourke as their quarterback, not Mendoza. He just took over the game. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna help Cam Ward out here. He's so dynamic, man. He can catch the ball at the backfield. His pass protection is decent. So him and Jadarian Price, excuse me, was a 1-2 punch, out that backfield. So I just love Jeremiah Love, and I won't be shocked if he's gone at 3. I won't be shocked if somebody trade up and take him at 4 and want to move back with Tennessee. But I'm definitely going to help Cam Ward right here and take Jeremiah Love at number 4.
yeah, awesome pick there. That I do feel like that's a pick that they can go there. Tony Pollard probably going in his last year of his contract. The Tajay Spears experiment didn't go as I thought it would, and that's even with Derrick Henry was there. But Tony Pollard has done a wonderful job. But barely going over 1,000 yards, but guess what? He hitting it. And Tennessee didn't have the best run game last year. So when you taking a Jeremiah Love and you putting him in that offense, Cam Ward at quarterback, and I'm blanking on who they got in the offseason as far as weapons. I know it's a couple guys.
They got Wandale from the Giants.
They got Wandale from the Giants, and that's one key one right there. I want to say they got something else too. They made a lot of moves on most of them. I want to say it's defense.
Yes,
but that's a wonderful way to get Cam Ward coming there last year. Now you hit you with the Jeremiah Love, so that can be a nice little 1-2 punch right there for the Giants. Pick number 5 is on the clock. And the Giants are another team that can go linebacker, they can go offensive tackle, they can go receiver, they can go safety, they can go corner, they can go running back. Cam Scatterwell's coming back. Can you count him now that he's had that one injury? Can they rely on Cam Scatterwell now? I know it's going into his second season, but that's something to watch right there. So the Giants could be in a situation where they may be trading up for a Jeremiah Love. Because they can go there too. So we're not Jeremiah. Yeah, for Jeremiah Love, but for the Giants at pick 5, you seen Sonny Styles, right? I think that he can make a big contribution to that defense, especially with Kayvon Thibodeau. I think he's in his last year.
Yeah, I expect him to be like on the move, probably draft night.
Yeah, so that he can definitely be a trade candidate there. Sonny Styles, man, of course, everybody's seen his combine, and I mean we've seen the tape, different things that he can do, rushing the passer, coverage, just speed, sideline to sideline. So I think with this move right here, with the Giants at the 5th pick, I think they take Sonny Styles, Ohio State, and pushing the Giants into more of that team that can be more of a threat. We got Coach Jackson. I'm sorry. This the love pick. Tennessee. This the love pick. Tennessee. Yeah. So, but for the Giants, I'm going Sonny Styles here.
Yeah, I see Sonny Styles in this light as well. I can see him going to Tennessee at number 4, but for me, Harbaugh to have his Roquan Smith of his defense, and you know how much Roquan meant to that defense when he was at with Baltimore. So he plug him in, and he's an upgrade. They released Bobby Okereke in the offseason. He has yet to be signed, I believe, by anybody. So you plug him in, he's a day one starter, impact player. You surround him with Brian Burns, my guy Abdul Carter from last year, Dexter Lawrence in the middle, and you got you lose Cordell Flott on the outside, but you have some nice corners that you can work with, and you can play them at all all 3 levels. You can come off the edge a little bit. Just imagine you got Sonny Styles, Kayvon Thibodeau, if they keep him, Brian Burns, and Abdul Carter coming at you. Remember like the old NASCAR package that they had back in the day with OCM and Yor and Michael Strahan and
Yeah.
those boys back in the Super Bowl run they had? Imagine
Hmm.
them throwing that at you in the NFC East this year. 6'5", 240 something, run like a cyborg that's run a 4.3. Yeah, the NFC East definitely would not sleep as good each Sunday with Sonny Styles in the middle of that Giants defense.
Oh, you got those guys coming around the edge. Oh, then you got Dexter Lawrence, Pro
Yeah,
Bowl, All Pro defensive
yeah,
tackle at the middle too. So uh,
be
that's something for
absurd.
the Eagles and the Dak Prescott problems and the Jaden Daniel problems too. So yeah, I definitely see that's a good pick. Way to wait for John Harbaugh to start off his New York Giants tender by taking on a dynamic linebacker like Sonny Styles. We now at pick number 6. The Cleveland Browns are on the clock. They can select the offensive tackle. They can go wide receiver, interior linebacker. They need an edge. They need a corner. They need a safety. They need a lot
Yeah.
of. They need a lot of things. They went through free agency, and they shored up. They reshored up the offensive line. So uh, we don't know who the I don't know if what's I'm blanking on my head coach. What's my head coach?
Todd Monken.
Todd Monken. You know, good graces with Shador, and we seen that on the camera. But how is that actually going to translate once preseason, once training camp gets here? Will Shador be the starting quarterback? Will they go to Deshaun Watson? Will they go somewhere else? You paying Deshaun Watson a lot of money. And just to sit on the bench, and I guess to learn, maybe that's the direction they want to go. Cleveland does Cleveland things.
Yeah.
Uh, this is your pick. Where do the Cleveland Browns go with the six?
So here's how I look at the Cleveland Browns situation, right? Like you said, they signed Elton Jenkins. They traded for Titus Howard. They signed Zion Johnson from the Chargers. So they addressed, their needs on the offensive line, except for one position, which is left tackle, right? So you got Shador, you got Judkins back there, you got Judy, you're losing Njoku, but you got Harold Fanning, as a weapon. The easy and the most, consensus pick for a while was Carnell Tate, getting the playmaker out there. But I really think about the Browns and what they can potentially do later on in this draft, potentially. So I'm gonna, even if it don't happen this year, maybe in 2027, but I'm gonna do what's best for, the Cleveland Browns is take an offensive tackle, and he's a fast riser here, and I haven't dug into him a lot, but I will going forward. Monroe Freeland, the offensive tackle from Georgia, you going to stamp him in there and put him as your left tackle for whenever you do drop your quarterback in. We don't know if Shador or Deshaun or Dylan Gabriel's your long term answer a quarterback, but you at least know, hey, you'll have a starting franchise left tackle for the next 10, 15 years. Um, if he projects and pans out like everybody in the draft Twitter and in the scouts and media say he will. So I'm going to take Monroe Freeland here, number 6 overall for the Cleveland Browns. Like I said, if you don't have your quarterback, you're building the offense around your quarterback to drop them in when it's time. So, I thought about this for a while, but then again, it's like what makes more sense because you address everything on the offensive line except for that one position. And let's think about it, man. they've had a great tackle, a Hall of Fame tackle in their room before. They had Joe Thomas not that long ago. And you see, he was first ballot Hall of Famer. So, Joe Thomas can get his hands on him, coach him up. And who's better? Who's better than Joe Thomas to teach you how to be a Cleveland Brown offensive tackle in the city of Cleveland, where times are hard, where you might not win as much, but you're going to be a damn good All Pro for the next 10+ years of your life and your NFL career. So I went with Monroe Freeland for the. I know it's a reach. It could be a reach in some people's eyes, but I think hey, once you get these offensive linemen on a run, they're going to start going, and you don't want to miss out. So I think the Browns do the right thing and grab them left tackle of the future and Monroe Freeland, number 6 overall.
Yeah, who better than Joe Thomas to sit there and go through all those years and still play at an elite level? So I think that's a good trade. I mean, that's a good pick right there for the Cleveland Browns. We'll see if that happens. Like you said, it's a reach, but hey, anything can happen. So, but I do like the pick though. Going at number 7, Washington. They need an edge. They need a linebacker. They need a safety, running back.
Sitting right there for him. This could not work out any better for the way this board fell for you. It's a no-brainer, in my opinion, anyway. But hey,
Where you think they go?
I don't know, man. This your pick, man. But I know what I will do. I'm not. I'll say after you pick for the Commanders what I would have done. But I know we're not thinking in the same ballpark right here. I know we are. I know we're thinking different.
So I'm looking at their receiving room, right? I'm looking at Terry McLaurin. I'm looking at Luke McCaffrey, Treylon Burks. Behind them, they got Jalen Lane, who they drafted last year, Van Jefferson, De'Ami Brown. I'm thinking they need an upgrade to that receiving room. And your boy right here, Mr. Carnell Tate, best receiver in the draft. Can we agree on that?
I'll go somewhere else, but hey,
You with the kid from Arizona State,
yeah,
Jordan Tyson.
I'm a Lemon guy. I told you that a couple of weeks ago. Man.
Lemon.
I
Okay.
like Lemon, but hey, I ain't mad at you either way you go. So
I think Lemon might slip a little bit. I think the combine might have hurt him a little bit because you know how they get they get a little antsy, they get a little political, but I feel like they may slip.
It could be smoke too, just to, hey, make sure your guy there when you're on the board, man. But go ahead, take your guy, man. Take your guy.
All right, so I'm gonna go Carnell Tate here.
Ooh.
For the Commanders at number 7. Jaden Daniels needs him they need an upgrade at that position. And I like some of the downhill stuff that he can do over the top. Like he can take the top off. You can do a lot of things with him. I think this will be a major for the Commanders, especially you playing the Eagles twice, you playing Dallas twice, you playing the Giants twice, plus everybody else. I think this pick right here definitely improves that receiving room, and it definitely improves his team. So I'm going to go with Carnell Tate here for the Washington Commanders at number 7.
Yeah, man. I thought you was gonna go Reese because he's sitting right there for the Commanders. And Lord knows, I know they pay Oway. I know they paid Caleb on Chason a good bag this year, but I mean, you got somebody sitting right there that's a freak, 6'4", 230, around 4'3". I thought that would have been perfect to play outside linebacker, stand up. I thought you was gonna go there, but hey, I ain't mad at Tate. I ain't mad. I probably wouldn't have took Tate this high, but I ain't mad at you though. I promise you I ain't.
All right. And like this just the 2.0. So in the final mock, I could go in that direction. So
1,000%. That's why this is live. It's off the cuff, man. So now I got to adjust that for New Orleans because I thought it was gonna play out a certain way, but I'm gonna go ahead and make it happen for them.
All right, at pick number 8, New Orleans Saints. They need a wide receiver. They need an edge. They need a running back. They need a linebacker. They need a corner. They need a little bit of everything as well. Who do New Orleans take with the number 8 pick?
I'm gonna just put Alvin Reese there. Let's put Alvin Reese there because imagine you can pick. We don't know what Cam Jordan's gonna do. He could come back another year, and if he do, That's perfect. You can have him learn beside Alred Reese, and you got Chase Young, Chris Young. You got Chase Young on the other side who has a resurgent career with the Saints after everybody wrote him off in DC after he had the injury. And I think if you're Kellen Moore and you're Mickey Loomis, you just take best player available here. You don't even think about it, because he's probably a top four, top three, top four player in this class. It depends on who you ask, and you just don't leave those players on the board, and that's great value right there that you can come after, Baker Mayfield, Michael Penix, Tua, Bryce Young in the NFC South. So yes, I thought he would have been gone by now. But you taking, Tate at 7, that kind of shook up a little bit, which I do like about this. That's why we're doing it live. I'm taking Alvaro Reese for the New Orleans Saints and not even looking back at it, not thinking twice.
Yeah, if you look at that room, they definitely need it. You still got Chase there, Pete Werner, you got Caden Ellis who signed back there. No, yeah, he signed there. So, and then you can use him at the edge too. And like if you look at their edge run, they could definitely need him. They could definitely use him. So, I like that pick right there. You got anything else to add to that?
Nah. These next 3 picks are gonna be interesting for
So,
sure.
for Kansas City, they lost their All Pro cornerback.
Don't you do it.
And you
Don't you
told me yesterday
don't you do it.
when you found out Mansour Delane when he ran a 4.3, they need a replacement there at the cornerback position. Kansas City with the 9th pick in the 2026 draft in the mock draft. Kansas City takes LSU cornerback Mansour Delane. I think this is a no-brainer when it comes to this right here. If he's there, and you already said it yesterday, you don't see him going past 10. So, what a great replacement from Trent. What's my man's name? Why am I blanking on that?
McDuffie.
Trent McDuffie. So, what a great replacement there. He goes to LA, and then Kansas City replaces him with Mansour Delane, one of the best corners in this year's draft. I think this is a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, man. I think this is a no-brainer as well. You could have went Bane. I wouldn't have been mad at you at all. But think about it, man. It makes all the sense in the world for the Chiefs because they don't pay corners. They let Jerry Sneed go, trade him to the Titans for a 3rd-round pick. You draft Trent McDuffie. You trade Trent McDuffie for a late one, replace him with Mansour Delane. So I do like the Mansour Delane pick. You could have went Bane. You could have went Tyson here. I wouldn't have been upset because
they need a weapon.
Rasheed Rice, or you could have went Lemon. Rasheed Rice, you can't wait on him to play a full 17. Xavier Worthy, he hasn't panned out like you thought he would, coming out of Texas. So yeah, man, you could have went either way, with one of those guys. But hey, I do like Mansour Delane here for the Chiefs.
They also could have went Caleb Downs as well.
I'll be sick to my stomach though, but I'm sick to my stomach with the Mansour pick regardless. So,
number 10, you got the Cincinnati Bengals on the clock. They need safety, they need edge, cornerback, defensive line, they need linebacker help. They need a little bit of everything too. Who do you think the Bengals go with the 10th pick?
So this is an interesting spot to me. The way this draft fell, this version of our draft fell. You have Downs and you have Bane right here, right? It's like we know outside of DJ Turner, there's really nobody in the Bengals secondary that can impact the game. Not since they had Jesse Bates a couple years ago before they let him go to Atlanta. But on the other hand, you put 1st-round premium picks into Miles Murphy and Shamar Stewart last year. So it's like, and you're not getting anything from them, especially from Miles Murphy. He's been in the building, been in the program for a while, and you're not seeing return on ROI, if that makes sense. Shamar Stewart, yes, I understand he didn't have the production, but genetic freak, 6'5", can measurements, whatever. So I understand why you swung on that guy. But what being said, people question Ruben Bain, his arm size, arm length, or whatever.
Yo, did you see his pro day?
We ain't gonna talk about it because he can bend that corner. We know he can bend that corner. So with that being said, I'm going to. I know it's probably it could shake out this way very very much on draft night, but I'm going to take Ruben Bain here to the Cincinnati Bengals to show up that edge room. Yes, I would like to do somebody in the secondary, but right now he's probably the best player on the board outside of Caleb Downs in this spot. So I'm going to take Bain here for the Bengals.
And they had signed Boye Mafe to the, I want to say it was a 3 year 30
3
something,
years 60. I think it was
3
3
year
years 60.
60. You spoke on Miles Murphy. So I think with him, he definitely ignites that defensive line too. And
Yeah, man. So like, yeah, but Mafia, I'm gonna tell you right now, boy, Mafia ain't stopping me from drafting Ruben Bain. I'm sorry,
yeah,
people like media pundits and stuff like that. They can overthink this thing, and yes, we know he's an outlier, so there's a little risk there, but he's a bully, man. If you see that national championship game, that whole college football playoff run, him and Messidor was meeting at the quarterback almost damn near every play, for real.
yeah.
And so it's like I'm not overthinking this. I'm not gonna like prolong this. So there's you put Ruben Bain in your defensive line room, and you automatically become a better defensive line unit. So a better defense. So Ruben Bain, pick number 10, and let's move on.
Uh, the Dolphins at the 11th pick, and they just got Malik Willis. I'm sure he's going to be the quarterback for this year, at least for this year alone.
Mm.
Um, you're looking at the wide receiver room. You're looking at Malik Washington, Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell. Those aren't guys that's putting butts in seats. So, with the 11th pick, they need to help a receiver. I think with the concerns with Jordan Tyson, I see the vision there, but I think some teams may be scared to take him due to the concerns with the injuries, but they may not. But you know how my thoughts are with that the other day. We ain't gonna go into that. So I'm gonna go Mekhi Lemon here in Miami at pick number 11. It's a marriage made in heaven. Malik gets another weapon. The top weapon at that. He slides into to WR1 right there. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I like Lemon here in that spot. I probably would have went Downs here because they got rid of Minka, sent him to the
Mm-hmm.
Jets. I probably went Downs here to reinvent that secondary. He's a foundational piece. He's a game changer. And you need that enforcer for Jeff Halfley coming over from Green Bay. He's had some decent safeties in his life. He's seen, he had what's my guy name? Can't think of it right now, but but yeah, I think that would have been, Downs with Jeff Halfley start off his defensive prowess to build that defense back up. You would have went there, but I'm not mad at Lemon. If you want to give Malik Willis opportunities to succeed, you got to give him weapons, because I know he has A Chain right now and nobody else.
Man, you make a valid point. Can I switch my pick?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
let you
You
switch.
you made a valid point there. Excellent point. So I'm gonna go. I'm going Caleb Downs here. So that's 3 Ohio State players picked within the top 15.
Yeah.
So that definitely makes sense. And I saw his name there, but I'm looking at, you know, the wide receiver help, and they can go
Yeah.
there. But I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
I think, with that, my logic with that is you can find more wide receivers later on. Then but you won't find another. You won't find other Downs. You might get McNeil Warren in the second, but I doubt he'll be there. He'll probably be gone in the first round. By the time you get to the second half of the draft, pick 16 through 32, he could probably come off the board then. Dylan Thieneman probably be gone as well. So that was my thinking is to get an impact starter that can play, can come, make tackles, blitz, can take the ball away. Remember, he played at Alabama with Nick Saban,
Yeah.
as well. So he give you value in the return game as well. He returned some game punts in last year for Ohio State. So that's why I went downs. That was my main reason for going downs instead of lemon. But I understand what you were trying to do.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Going to the number 12 pick, you got the Cowboys on the clock. Who are the Cowboys taking? They need a corner, they need an edge, they need a linebacker, safety, wide receiver. But I think those three in the front, really, they can go either way between corner, edge, linebacker. So by this being a 12 pick, you are the even man. Who do the
All right.
Cowboys take with?
Could you go to all players right for me? I don't see the overall board. See who we still have left on the board. Is that where we at?
Yeah,
Okay.
you got.
Um. mm,
And for some reason, I can't scroll down. It's not
no,
letting me
you good.
scroll
You
down.
good. You good. Can man, this is tough one. Cornerback, edge, linebacker, safety, wide receiver. Um, I'm gonna say something first before I pick, and just let me know if I'm stupid or not. Um, what I would do is if Carnell Tate's here, I'm drafting Carnell Tate and trading George Pickens. If if I want to get crazy, if Tate's on the if Tate's on the board, I'm drafting Carnell Tate and trading George Pickens to get more draft capital in this draft and stock up, for next year. But that's just me being crazy. But right now, um, oh man, this is tough because let's go Jamar McCoy here, cornerback out of Tennessee for the Dallas Cowboys at number 12. We know Trayvon Diggs is not there anymore. Um, we know they need revamping in their secondary, and I could have went Keldrick Falk here, but that probably would have been a little too high for my blood. So I'm going Jamar McCoy, and I'm pretty sure Cowboys fans would appreciate this spot being prioritized in the first round. We know they always go offensive tackle or whatever, and they, Will McClay, he's a genius, finding talent in the first round as far as the offensive line. But I'm definitely going Jamar McCoy here, pick 12. He has a pro day coming up. He hasn't played ball in 2 years, so it's interesting to see what he's going to do at his pro day. I hope he run coming off of ACL. So we're gonna see what he do. So Jamar McCoy here, number 12.
Um, I'm not mad at it. I like it. They're a team that can go a multitude of different ways, and cornerback is like the top need for them. As you said, with Trayvon Diggs leaving, you need somebody to fill that void. So I like the pick there. Um, and then he'll get reps in preseason with with George and the likes of George and CD. So yeah, I like the pick there. Pick 13. Got 3 picks left. Remember, picks 1 through 16 today. Tomorrow, 16 through 32.
Possibly.
Possibly. We'll let the people know about that. Um, this is a tricky one right here because the Rams have cornerback, they got wide receiver, they got offensive tackle. They need a quarterback as well, especially if Matthew Stafford decides to hang it up at the end of the year or next year. You need somebody in there to be the next guy. I may need a little bit of help from you on this one. So
Okay.
they had Trent McDuffie already. And at the other corner spot, they had Jalen Watson. So I don't see them going corner with the 13th pick. And they do have a pick later on in the round from the Atlanta trade from last year. Offensive tackle, I'm not sure. Where do you think the Rams go with this pick? Because they're so much of a tricky team that they can go pretty much anywhere. And one thing I like about Sean McVay, he develops and he drafts so well. Where do you think they go with the 13th pick?
Um, So you want my crazy analysis, or you want something like just me like saying you want? Do you want to know what I would do, or do you what you want first? Because I got two scenarios.
Go ahead. Go with it. Go with it. I don't
All right.
care.
So what I would do? I'm drafting Makai Lemon, and I'm going balls to the wall, win Super
That's
Bowl. I'm rolling out Devontae Lemon, Puka, with Kyron Williams, Blake Fromm, Matthew Stafford, Terrence Ferguson, and I'm going balls to the wall trying to win Super Bowl this year. Because you know you're gonna have to pay. Devontae's not gonna be there forever. Puka get ready to come up on the bag because you see when JSN got a few days ago. So
Puka don't act right.
Puka don't, Puka be out here. Puka be on TMZ and everything. So are you gonna give Puka the bag? They'll play Puka. Um, so you need somebody opposite of Puka, because Devontae probably gonna be his last year in LA before they move on. We know Makai can play in the slot, but he can also play outside as well. So that's what I would do. I would go Makai Lemon here at 13. That's what I would do. But since this is your pick, I actually probably would go Spencer Fano here at number 13 to shore up that offensive line um, in the
Warren
future.
McClendon. Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, I would pick Spencer Fano here and to play right tackle to shore up that line for the future. Because you got to think about it, man. Like you have to get premium. You have to get premium players at a cost control salary because you got to pay Puka. So here's my question to you, Larry. Right? We said lemon or final right here. You have to pay Verse. You're gonna have to pay Fisk. You're gonna have to pay Byron Young. You're gonna have to pay what's my other guy on the defensive side of the ball?
Kobe Turner.
Kobe Turner. Puka got to get paid. So that's five. Who are you taking care of first? Puka's the man. Puka's the man now. So
They've already taken care of a lot. He took care of Cameron Curl
they taking
last
care of their
offseason.
people. So, but long, I would go. I know this is your pick. I would go Lemon here at 13 and try to go all in for Matthew Stafford's potential last year playing. But the long term move for me, what I would do is I'll take Spencer Fano here to play right tackle for whenever you do drop that quarterback in. Because the left tackle and right tackle are both premium positions now. Remember, it was only left tackle when we was growing up. But you got Max Crosby's, Trey Hendrickson's, Brian Burns, Michael Parsons, all them guys coming off the right side now. So I'm taking Spencer Fano, and he got some stuff to clean up here. But I think put some weight on him. But I definitely see them, taking him and developing him for their future quarterback.
And what better way than put him in that system, especially with Sean McVay? I'm not mad at that. I would have went Lemon here, but if I'm looking at that wide receiver room, it's really crowded.
It
And
really is.
that doesn't say that he can't come in and make the impact and beat out those guys because he can. But I'm with you. How good is Warren McClendon?
He ain't stopping me from tell you what, he ain't stopping me from taking Fano.
I'm taking Final at number 13. That's two picks, but just I always like your mind frame when it came to like sports and like business and all that. So I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go Spencer Final at the 13 pick. Man, we spend a lot of time with that pick.
Yeah, that was a long, but because they can do so much, man, because they're right there on the cusp of winning. So they really don't. They were a couple plays from being in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and a hard fought game versus the Seahawks. Well, yeah, I mean, that playoff game, but whatever. But they're right there, bro. So I mean, they could do whatever. It's like a luxury. If I'm really, 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 really want to get crazy, you could say, "Hey, do I take Ty Simpson right here?" What if somebody's whispering in their ear saying, "Hey, these are one of the teams that think Ty Simpson's QB1. Take them, let them sit. You still got pick 29. You can get a tackle there. You can go get you Maxwell Enclair from Arizona State. I'm just saying. But for this right now, we're gonna take Spencer Fano and continue to build in the trenches, which we know the Rams are good at doing. I mean, Les Snead, man, he's just awesome, drafting, man. So him and my guy in Seattle, man, they do a good job. So I'm just like every pick that they get, they hit on, and I wouldn't think no different with this final pick right here or Lemon.
Or or
Do it. Do it. If that's
Ty,
what you want to do it.
what
I
Ty
ain't
said,
mad at you.
because it makes sense. It
I
does
ain't
make
mad
sense.
at you. I ain't mad at you, bro.
Especially with Dan, the way he's been talking about it, and you looking on the film, and I definitely think the Rams will be one of those teams that's going to be at that pro day in a couple of days.
Oh, for
So,
sure. You know they're
yeah.
gonna be there.
So I like that. I like that. Pick number 14. We got 2 picks left. Pick number 14, the Baltimore Ravens. They had an awkward off season. They're on the pick. They're on the list at number 14. They need an interior offensive lineman, wide receiver, defensive line. I kind of feel I know where you're going.
You know where I'm going.
where are we going with this pick?
So let's go to all and let's go to man. I mean, it's so many. You can go Tyson, you can go Lemon, you can go Sadiq, you can go Vega Lone. But man, losing Linderbaum kind of hurts a little bit. And I don't know who they're going to pluck in, but they have to regenerate and redo this interior offensive line. So you can go ahead and pick them. You can go ahead and pick Vega Lone right here to the Baltimore Ravens. It's been a popular pick. By the way, this is supposed to be the Las Vegas Raiders pick before whatever. We ain't even going there. But but yeah, I'm gonna go Vega Lone here. I watched a couple games of his last year. He can move. I know Penn State did some wild stuff with him, put him on motion. And everybody see the highlight on Twitter. Put him on motion and come block a defensive end running full speed. But he plays in a phone booth. He's athletic enough to get out on screens and stuff. So he can play. I think he can play in the gap scheme. I think he can play in the zone blocking scheme. I think he can do both. He's that good of an athlete. He's probably one of the best guards I've seen come out in we had Quentin Nelson years ago, and I think he's right up there, if not a notch below, Quentin Nelson. So he's really I like him a whole lot. So with the Ravens, I'm gonna take Vega Lone. I thought about doing it. But I was like, no, I'm not because they may be a little too rich to help Lamar out.
Kenyon City.
I started doing Sadiq, but I was like, no,
That's what
I can.
that's what I thought you was going.
I thought about it, but I was like, no, I'm gonna do the smart thing and help get Lamar some help because he's gonna come up on a new contract. He's gonna want 52, 62 M's here. So you better get him some protection or he could be sitting on the sideline like Joe Burrow here every season. So
I definitely thought you were going Lemon. Tyson still out there on the board. Sadiq still out there. Fanu still out there.
mm-hmm.
So that was pick 14 with the Ravens. Could have been the Raiders. At pick 15, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They need an edge. They need a linebacker, tight end, corner. I'm looking at that depth chart right now. At right tackle, they got Luke Gadecki. And then they got Tristan Wirfs. But then they don't have really anybody. So I think in my first mock we had I had a defensive tackle going there. But Baker's gonna need some help on that offensive line. So I'm gonna go Fondle here for Tampa Bay at pick 15. That's a heavy need.
Sure. I mean, I'm not mad at it because they're going to take them. They're going to run. I think once you see Monroe go and you see Vega Lone go, hey, I won't be surprised if Phantom don't go here at number 9 to Kansas City because they let Jawan Taylor walk in the offseason. So if he fall here, I think that's great for Tampa Bay in this spot. But I'm still looking at Sadiq right there. He's an upgrade over Luke Stalker, but Stalker's been decent for them. I'm looking at Lemon, looking at Tyson since Mike Evans is gone. So you can go a bevy of ways, man. But yeah, man, I ain't mad at the final pick at all.
And then with their room, Chris Godwin, who's kind of like at the tail end, a Mecca who emerged last year. You got McMillan, Ted Johnson, role player guys, but to show up that security, I'm gonna go there, but they can also go there too. So, and that's the beauty of the mock draft is what we think that they're gonna do. You know, and I mean, they can do a little bit of everything. So, I'm gonna go Spencer Fondu at 15. The Jets got their second pick on the board. The guy that I thought could go to him is going out the board now. He's off the board now. It doesn't make sense for him to go there anyway. But the second pick for the Jets, there, your linebacker, wide receiver. I feel I know where you're going with this one. Cornerback, quarterback. Where did the Jets go at pick 16?
Man, you know what I said this morning, right? If he was there, I was gonna take him, but he's not there. He went to Dallas at 12, and that's Jamar McCoy because, it's a stat that the Jets were the only team in the NFL that did not record an interception last year, which is
Yeah.
wow. That's kind of wild. Even the Raiders had more than MB, and so that's kind of a shocking, statistic to hear. But it's tough, man. You got Tyson and Lemon sitting right there. You have Mason Taylor, sorry, as your tight end of the future. A little too high for Avion, in my opinion, but I can see him doing it. Peter Woods probably a little too high. I probably have Peter Woods going probably to a couple spots down here. So right now, to me, it's between Tyson and Lemon. Um,
Amazing they still on the board right now.
right, and they both could be gone by time we could. This can be washed, and they both could be gone by pick 12. There will nobody be shocked. But right now, I'm a lemon guy. I'm just a little concerned. I like both. Don't get me wrong, but I'm more of a lemon guy because Jordan Tyson's injuries in college kind of scared me a little bit, and I'm a firm believer of once you stay hurt in college, you stay hurt in the pros. All our Tua Tagovailoa is proving that theory to me.
I was talking about that the other day.
Exactly. He had tightrope surgery at Alabama, missed a couple games, and then he had the unfortunate stuff happen to him in the Miami Dolphins, and that kind of lingers on through your career. So with that being said, I'm going to take Mekhi Lemon here for the New York Jets at number 16 to finish out our first half of mock draft 2.0. And my reason behind that is, we don't know who's QB1 for them. It won't be in this draft. Maybe it will be in this draft. Who knows if Ty Simpson goes to 13 like you had him going to the Rams? Maybe he's going to the Jets here at 16. So we don't know, but we know 2020. Everybody wants to point to 2027, and we know what's in 2027 with Arch saying CJ Carr, not Nussmeier, but Lenore Sellers. The list goes on and on. So maybe the Jets are just, hey, let's build this roster up around um, whoever that quarterback may be. I still would have liked a corner here, but there's not one to take here outside of Avion Terrell. So let's just give the quarterback in waiting two weapons, Garrett Wilson and Mekhi Lemon, to throw the ball around. And you still got Brees Hall on the franchise tag and Mason Taylor as well. And oh, by the way, you did get David Bailey at number 2. So I think if you come out this draft, this first round on Thursday night, April 23rd, with Bailey and Lemon, I think that's a hell of a haul for the Jets going in with 3 first round picks, yours plus the Sauce and Quentin Williams deals from last season to go in 2027 with. So I like Lemon. He's my wide receiver 1, in my opinion. I know people might call me crazy, but it's just something about his game that I've drawn to. So I think that'll be a home run pick for the Jets to help. I don't even know who that Geno Smith. Sorry, um,
Give
Geno
him a
Smith this
weapon.
year. Yeah, Geno a weapon. Yep.
Um, yeah. I don't. I thought Gary Wilson probably would have been about it there by now, but
No.
and then they signed him to a contract, so no, he's gonna be there. He's gonna be held hostage there. Kenya Sadiq, as you said, it wouldn't have been bad here, but you got Mason Taylor there. At the same time, Mason Taylor ain't stopping me from drafting Kenya.
Oh, of course, yeah. You want to hope Kenyon get the number 30. That's what you want.
That ain't happen. That ain't happening
No shot.
now.
Like if Baltimore turn the card, I will not be shocked, bro. 6'3",
Yeah.
4'3", whatever, 4'4", whatever. Yeah, we Mark Andrews, we love you to death. Out the mud, Rashad McCants, you got to go, baby, because we bringing Sadiq in here. But yeah, man, like I wouldn't be surprised if he went top 15, top 12, with the kind of talent that he got. Hell, you look at the Cincinnati Bengals. Shoot, you really want to get a Ferrari out here and not play no defense? Go ahead and draft Kenyon Sadiq at 12 and see what happens. They might be mad, Bengals fans, but I mean I understand.
So that concludes our first half of the draft. Picks 1 through 16. Because we went through 32, we probably had 2 hours left. So for that,
minimum.
David Bailey with the surprise pick at 2. Some surprise, some not. Francis Manoa at 3. Jeremiah Love at 4 to the Titans. Sonny Styles to the Giants at 5. Monroe Freeland, another surprise, at 6. Carnell Tate at 7. Arvell Reese at 8. At 9, who did I have at 9? Mansoor going to the Chiefs. At 10, this thing is tripping because it won't even go up. But at 10 was who?
Yeah, I can't remember who 10 was. Who picking 10? Is it Robe or is it Bang?
Cincinnati with Bain at 11. 11 was Miami.
Yeah, you changed your pick to Caleb Downs.
Caleb Downs at 12.
Jamar McCoy
For the Cowboys at 13.
You took Ty Simpson.
For the Rams. 14.
I took Vega Long to the Ravens.
The interior offensive lineman from Penn State at 15. Spencer Fano, offensive tackle from Utah, and then Mekhi Lemon for the Jets from USC. Yeah, and I think that's pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah, man, it's pretty solid, man. We had some shakeups there, man. I'm gonna go back and say, hey, if I had the Commanders pick, I probably would have went Mansour Delane to pair him with Mikey Sanders-Steele, Trey Amos, and those guys. That would have been kind of crazy. But yeah, man, that was I was waiting for it. I'm kind of glad I didn't pick. I mean, you had the odds, so I mean, I couldn't pick for Washington, but I would have loved to see Mansour Delane playing that Commanders defense with what they got. Help that secondary.
And they
can use them because Marshawn Lattimore ain't it no more. He got
it.
So
yeah,
man, it was interesting picks here, man. Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Half of these guys we probably talking about, they probably be gone before 12. Like Lemon probably ain't gonna be there at 16. It's a possibility. Fano probably ain't gonna be there at 15. I think Vega alone he can be there at 14, but Sadiq might be gone. Tyson may be gone. But once we start getting down to the Avion Terrells, Peter Woods, Keldrick Fox, that's when, the middle of the pack. Dylan Thieneman, I'll tell you right now, when we pick up on tomorrow or whatever day, Thieneman is going to Minnesota in my book. He's gone. That's when we start getting to those players. But, top half of round one, everybody got the popular names, popular players they've been knowing about all cycle. But when we get to pick 16 through 32, these are the guys that, hey, they probably got fringe first round grades on because, it's probably really only 12 to 15 true first round grades. So they should probably see second round grades, fringe first round grades, back half of the first round grades on some of these guys right here. So, hell, I thought Peter Woods would be a top 10 player, but, what the hell happened at Clemson to make him fall this far? We don't know. Shame on Dabo on those guys. But, yeah, man, this is really the meat potato, the boring part of the draft. If your team's already picked like mine, but you're back in at pick 30. So everybody's going to fall right to you. So, yeah, I'm excited, man, for the second half of this draft. that we're going to do here, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some difference in opinions or what you may take, what I may take. But hey, however the board falls to us, and we're going to go there and we're going to react and we're going to pick our guys.
Still some excellent players still on the board with Jordan Tyson, Kenyon Sadiq still not off the board yet. Avion Terrell, Keldrick Fox, and I know you named some of those guys. So we'll get off camera and we'll discuss our schedule. We could come to you tomorrow. We could come to you on Thursday. But either way, you'll know once you see us on live. And share, and like and share, and subscribe to all the channels and everything. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a good first process with the mock draft here. Thank you, Amon, for shooting the idea. And yeah, you got anything else before we head up out of here?
No, man, it's just, like you said, like, comment, subscribe, share. All you football nerds like me, you, and man, if you hey, chime in, hit us up on Facebook, hit you up on YouTube. What you agree and disagree, and then if you feel like something that we can be chatting on the show, we'll block a segment. It's like, hey, we talk to some of my guys and they disagree with this, and we'll chop it up and make you guys a part of the show, and which we will. We'll talk about that later on down the road, how we do one of these things, and have some of my friends chime in for some of their teams and give us their honest opinion and what they think, yay, nay. We'll put that together down the road. We'll put our heads together and figure that out. But yeah, man, share. The more, the better. You help us out. Help grow his YouTube channel, and let's get our content out there, man. We're starting this from our idea. Everybody's doing it. I feel like we're qualified, and we know enough that we can get in this space and have a little fun with it as well, and take whatever comes with it. So I'm happy. I'm excited. This is what I love doing. Anybody that knows me knows this is what I like doing when I'm in my free time. The ones that really know me. But man, I'm excited, man, to see what the second half of round one looks like for us in the next couple of days.
We've been doing this since the lunch tables, man.
Lunch table, sitting at the lunch table, breaking pencils with a pencil fight, talking crazy. But man, we got a platform, and we know social media is a fast rising whatever. And I feel like our opinions need to be put out there for people to like, dislike. Hey, I don't take nothing personal as your opinion. You can agree, I can disagree with you, and we can keep it pushing. So yeah, man, let's roll, man. Let's keep this thing going.
Yep. Tomorrow, we're just going to say tomorrow we'll be here with picks, starting out with picks 17, 18, 19 with Detroit, Minnesota, Carolina. So like my man said, chime in. Let us know how we did and where you would have went with your team if we selected you with your team. That's all we got. Good night, everybody. And until then.